Good blessed Sunday morning, December the 18th, 2022. It's about 7:22 a.m. I'm showing you all these pictures for a reason, not to boast, but just for my critics, my racist critics and no sellout black critics that has a problem with me when I talk about unsecured crime scenes and other things concerning law in the medical field. Just to show you, I didn't rent these here uniforms that I have on. I happen to be at the bottom teaching CPR to the left and teaching EMT to the right bottom. The top, you can see me to the left inside of the ambulance with one of my partners. And to the right, you can see me out on the street with some of my partners and other medical personnel where we at a mocked crime scene. And the first thing that with the ambulance personnel, medical personnel, I guess they don't do that here in the state of Missouri, well, in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County. But before an ambulance personnel, paramedics, EMTs go on to a crime scene, especially a shooting, the crime scene must be secured and sealed off for their safety. I'm just telling you something that I know, I experienced. I not only worked on the ambulance, but I taught EMT in CPR. But I'm finna show y'all the crime scene here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County on the 15th of December 2022 here in Charleston, Missouri, on the west side of town, predominantly black side of town, on the corners of Wall Housing in Gale Street. You have a chief of police out there. You have one of his sergeants out there. You have his school resource officer out there. You have a captain that supposed to be, I believe, on administrative duties because the Illinois State Police arrested him, and he's out on bond, and he goes to court January the 23rd, 2023 in Johnson County, Illinois, because the Illinois State Police arrested him for battery and official misconduct and maybe something else. But I want to show y'all this full video of my security cameras from when the first, I guess you would call it an emergency vehicle, came on this scene, which was Captain Barry Morgan, who shouldn't have never been on the scene in his marked vehicle. But I want you to check the whole scene out. At no time was any security or crime scene tape, and you can see people walking through both sides. I'm going to leave it at that, but I'm finna show y'all the whole thing. Now let's take a look and see what time this started. It's about 2:46. You see in the first vehicle, that's Barry Morgan coming down to the shooting. I believe that's Deputy Mike Boyce coming after him. But I'm gonna let y'all see the whole thing here. That's me just coming out. Heard the shooting, so I'm coming out to the scene. I'm doing something that an activist would do in the black community. Remember, Paul Page, the executive director of the Charleston, Missouri Housing Authorities here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County. You remember he I'm barred from there. I'm waiting on the completion of the investigation from the Missouri Commission on Human Rights, which I filed a discrimination and the retaliation claim against the executive director of the Charleston, Missouri Housing Authority, Paul Page, who barred me from the Housing Authority for merely complaining about a family that moved in this particular project right here that had been his family, some of his children's and his company was destroying my bushes, and at the same time continue to throw trash in it, and I complained several times and they did nothing about it. But I want y'all to just continue to watch the whole thing, and after we get through, you want to ask yourself, if you have a chief of police that's supposed to be Robert Bobby Hearns, he's supposed to be the director of the police department and the director of the fire department here in Charleston, Missouri. And then Brenton Farrow supposed to be the sheriff of the Mississippi County Sheriff Department here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County. How could both of them allow a captain that they know is out on bond, and all you have to do is Google it up, Missouri sheriff deputy of Mississippi County was arrested, and he's out on bond. He was arrested in Johnson County. He go back to court January the 23rd, 2023. How did they allow this man to not only respond in a vehicle with emergency light vehicles on it, come on the scene, and he did more than just about anybody else that was out there and participated in just about everything. He contaminated the crime scene. If something illegally was taken out of that house that he went into, any good criminal lawyer would have that to be inadmissible because of an individual that went in there, contaminated the crime scene. He could have planted something there. He has a history of stopping certain people, taking drugs off of them, and at the same time letting them go. If he take drugs or gun off of them and let them go, this is something common. This is not all police. This is not all sheriffs. But we know we have some crooked sheriffs and crooked police. We have a chief of police, Robert Bobby Hearns, here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, and Brenton Farrow, the sheriff. Both of them go to the same church. That's no big issue. But at the same time, how are they in those positions and allow that particular individual to leave wherever he came from, coming on this crime scene? But just take a look, and I want you to see how long. You see what time it started, and I want to show you what time it ended after I went over there. And once I came back, it was a good probably 20-something minutes or more. But at the same time, at no time, y'all, look over here, at no time was this crime scene secured. This is a crime scene right here on Gerald and Warhausen on the corner, and all the way down the end here where you see my arrow at, it was another crime scene where two people, I believe, were shot. But y'all just check it out. It's a little time to go, but we gonna let it go all the way. You see the time right now? What is it, 2:52? We gonna let it go all the way to 3:09. And at no time. You remember it started at about 2:45. And at no time, y'all, no time at all was any crime scene tape. Why was the ambulance personnel allowed to go on the scene and get the? I give them props. The paramedics, I give them props for going on the scene. You see what I'm saying? To save lives. I give the law enforcement officials there that was doing their job, not just sitting there looking down at the ground because I'm videoing and just pushing leads with their boots or their shoes. Not just not somebody that didn't supposed to be there. Captain Barry Morgan. You see, where another thing, all this time that lapsed, where was all of these individual preachers, these so-called leaders, the NAACP? Me and my two daughters is NAACP members. We do more here in Charleston, Missouri, and other places than any of these NAACP members do. Now, so you know this remind me of when my son was found hung in Carbondale, Illinois, on Friday, March the 19th, 2021. In the police report, which I have, they claim that the scene was secured. I got coverage showing that the scene wasn't secured at no time at all. Last year, when a young black female from Chicago, 18 years old, just a freshman at the a Southern Illinois University College in Carbondale. He running to tell my daughter to that's my neighbor. Look at him. He running to tell my daughter to get my coat for me because it was cold out there. You see, we work in unity on this west side of town. The police, I got to tell you, the police and the sheriff don't protect us. They tell you that they march. I mean, they be on foot patrol. But let me finish telling you this here. When this young girl got shot and killed, I believe it was August the 22nd, 2022, in Carbondale, Illinois, I went down there on the scene, and it wasn't secured. They had people cleaning up because a white individual in Carbondale that has plenty of money, a slumlord, that had let these college students have any type of parties in there. He had his people cleaning it up and cleaning up the evidence for the girl being shot and killed. But I want y'all to continue to watch this here. You know, and this not knocking all police because we done had some good police on the Charleston, Missouri Police Department, and they leave. We done had some good ones on the Sheriff Department, and they leave. If you look at the Charleston, Missouri Police Department, they go to ambulance. Every time I see one, it reminds me when I used to do this here. Those that know me, I did it in the 1980s when Harold Washington was mayor. But I'm not criticizing all police, but when you have a chief of police that been a chief of police over 20-something years, Robert Bobby Hearns, right here. See, we don't elect him. The city council elect him. We don't even elect our mayor. The city council elect the mayor. But how is it and why is all of these police, black and white, leaving the Charleston, Missouri Police Department? You know why? Because Robert Hearns, which is the chief, and the only reason he's the chief is because of his family name. His uncle, Warren E. Hearns, may he rest in peace, he was a governor here in the state of Missouri. Warren E. Hearns' wife, Betty Hearns, she was a one-time Missouri state representative. That's why he got this here a job. You see, and this is a closely
tight-knitted, good old boy system here. And blacks is a part of it. Most of these preachers, 90% of these preachers, the NAACP, ain't no doubt about it, it is. But why is they suddenly leaving? Because some of them told me that Robert Hearns is not going to promote none of them. You got a sergeant that been a sergeant, I think, almost 20-something years or maybe close to 30 years. The chief of police, that's my daughter just coming back from bringing me my coat. Then you have a captain, Anthony Mooney. I didn't even see him out there. Maybe he on vacation. But don't nobody else get promoted. And you wonder why. You see what I'm saying? Some police is not crooked. I give it to one police that was on there for a while. He made more arrests than anybody. And his, to me, was legitimate. And he went to the Missouri State Highway Patrol. That probably was the best thing he could ever do, leaving this police department. But I'm praying that the feds is watching this here. Because how many more of these police or sheriffs is responding in these cars and don't even supposed to be on the force? I'm going to tell you another thing, and some of y'all may not like it. But I done seen when it's some incidents where whites is being involved in accidents and things like that, or some type of injuries. You had these first responder trucks all over the place. But I'm going to leave that alone, because my thing is I want y'all to just see at no time. Y'all see the time? It's almost 3 o'clock. And it started at the first one on the scene. You might as well say chief or the commander-in-chief, Barry Morgan. he took control of it. He took control of the whole scene. You got some of these racist people that comments on my YouTube. They said Raymond Ivey want to be chief of police. No, I don't want to be a chief of police. I'm an ambassador of Jesus Christ. I'm an activist. You see what I'm saying? That's standing up for my community, because these preachers, all they want is grant money. You will see them many a times sitting up there talking with the police in their conference, saying that they be coming on foot patrol and they tired of this violence, but they can't be tired of it, because look here. Right down here where you see my arrow is at, right down the street from my house, a 16-year-old young man was shot 4 times. I believe you had right down here about 3 or 4 months ago, you had about 2 or 3 police. At no time did they have crime scene tape. Tell me about that. Now, let's go here. Just last week, I believe on the 7th or the 8th, the 7th of December 2022, you had a house shot up right here in the 700 block of Warren. At no time any crime scene tape. That's in the black community. You know why? Because the black community don't have any leaders that speak up. I'm talking about these leaders that be up in the newspaper all the time, getting awards or giving out awards. You see what time it is so far, y'all? It's 3:01. Let's go back to the crime scene. Let me get it again, y'all. Come on now. I get kind of old, y'all. I know some of y'all glad. But look, you see all these people? You couldn't see the ones from down there. But I'm just trying to show y'all crime scene. And then another thing is really strange. Barry Morgan, you see his light still flashing here? You see where my arrow is at? The little black vehicle? Strange, he first one there and one of the last to leave. How did he stay on that scene? What was he doing? If the Illinois State Police know about it. They wouldn't. They would have something to say about that. I think any law enforcement official that know, that's just like if a police got a DUI and killed somebody and they out on bond and they letting them respond. This man, I got video of him with the sheriff and one of the sheriff sergeants, all three of them tasing, Barry Morgan tasing a guy. I mean, if you've seen it, you know, the guy asked him what was the nature of them on his property. And Barry Morgan, you could see how aggressive he was with this individual. Apparently, the case that he got is a battery on the suspect connected to the concerning the suspect that he was chasing. Now, number one, you a sheriff and you chasing somebody that stole y'all truck. Number one, how do you let a person that's in your custody steal your sheriff truck? That go to show you somebody was incompetent. You see what I'm saying? Not only did he steal the truck, but then you chased them into Illinois, past Cairo, past Miles, going down to Johnson County. Normally, now that's just a stolen truck. Normally you call to the next jurisdiction and let them take over. But not Barry Morgan. You seen how he coming here. He don't, hey, and his boss, the sheriff, you heard what he said in that one video. If you haven't seen it, look at my video. Sheriff said that in other words, he telling the Illinois State Police, instead of trying to arrest his captain, he should be focused on the criminal. In other words, he telling these people, don't worry about us breaking no laws as law enforcement. We supposed to stick together. Something wrong with that, y'all. You can imagine what they do to some of us in this community here, y'all. You see that they don't value our community. You see what I'm saying? They don't. Look at that. Look what time it is, y'all. I'm going to end it about 4 more minutes when you see me come back. Let's go look at that scene again. Y'all see it? Still no crime scene tape. Y'all see it down here? No crime scene tape. But you got to remember, this is the black community. If you look at my YouTube videos, you will see many other crime scenes where there's no crime scene tape. You seen the one from the 7th, when they had the shooting on Warren Street, December the 7th. A guy that was running from the shooting had to run right past the police. The police probably stopped him and said, "You seen anything happening down there?" And he said, "Yeah, they shooting down there." And the police probably said, "You get on home." He said, "Okay," and got off the scene. But I just want y'all to just see, I don't do this here for finance. I don't just talk, I act. When I hear shooting in my community, once I know it's safe, I'm going out. You see what I'm saying? The police and the sheriff department should be ashamed to not make sure that scene was secured. You see what I'm saying? I guess they don't have the finance for tape. Crime scene tape. I'm assuming that's what the issue is. They don't have no finance for crime scene tape. But I want what y'all to do is just pay attention. Black folks, stop killing each other. Stop shooting each other. You see what I'm saying? Y'all got some of that money. Some of you dope dealers, get some money and build a gym. Y'all see all these NAACP members and all these other individuals, black individuals on the zone committee and all these other black individual preachers and things. If the shoe fit, wear it, because it's not all of them. You see what they doing? They just buying up property. You see what I'm saying? They have you living in their property And it's like slums. But then when you move out and they move in, like one of them moved in and made an office out of his in our community. You see, they bring all the programs in our community, get their money, but the only thing they give us and our children's is free lunches. You see what I'm saying? Let them play a little basketball, but on the other side of town, they sending they children to college. Now, the NAACP, they have a little fun where they give a $500 or $1,000 out of the millions of dollars that these individuals that had the black business people, if the shoe fit wear, had they business, they send one or two of our blacks to college with a grant of $500 or $1,000. You see what I'm saying? Out of the millions that they're raking up. But at the same time, these people on the other end, the white folks, they sending theirs with some of them full scholarships. Let me see, did I come back in yet? I was talking, running my mouth. I know some of y'all don't like to see me run my mouth, but that's what I do. I do for a living. But when I run it on the legitimate side. I think that's me on my way back. Finna upload my video. And if y'all notice, I made sure I didn't get on the housing authority sidewalk of their projects. But I just wanted y'all to see crime scene still not even secured. What time did I go in? 9 minutes after. Crime scene still not secured. Barry Morgan, you see that vehicle? Still there with its lights, still flashing like Christmas trees. I'm going to leave for right now, y'all. Black folks, wake up. Get an education. Some of y'all try to get on the police force, sheriff department, try to run for sheriff, get in that mayor spot, get in some of these other spots, and peace, be still.